There we go. Get some subs. Yep, we have played the Stanley Parable before, or I have. We'll raise that up for the stream because I know everything's darker in general. What is the current time? 1:28 a.m. All right, we're gonna check out Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition. Let me just change this in OBS. There we go. All right. So I don't know what will change with me having said that I had played the Stanley Parable before. I've just played the I guess probably shorter original version. But yeah, I remember really enjoying the original version. But we'll see what's going on here. All right, let's go.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
All right. Oh, all right, there we go. All right, that's a little better. All right. I hate Mondays. Let's see, Partition Corp providing partitions for 56 years. 427. Got a nice landscape out there. All right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Hello, co-workers. All right, where's the meeting room or whatever? Oh no. Or coffee.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We sure did. We sure did.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
All right, what do we got? Weekly targets, marketing Mondays. Everyone's favorite day. Oh no, mergers. That's scary. Oh, but look at what we got here. Office party. We do love a good office party. What to do about 432? Don't tell 432 about the meeting. Oh no, isn't that us? What did we do? Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. All right, the future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Targets, push for funding for R&D of new coffee machine. Standardize graphics, 40x wide, not cost efficient. Get Chris out of the broom closet. What's he doing in there? Papers are too synergized. Hire someone to synergize papers. Oh, yeah. All right. A fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets on the topic of something. All right, tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda items. Right next day, agenda items. And reflect. That's accurate. Yep. Everyone is unique. You most of all, chat. You most of all. Number of slides on this slide. We got charts and slides, and slides. Very good. What do people want? People want things, money, more money, things, but with money to buy more things, graphs. Graphs about things and money. We have our new product. Perfect. Let's see. The stock market is somewhere in here. Sure. A target demographic, teenagers. What is hot? Profits, profits, profits. We do love profits. Yeah, let's see. We need something reviews 402 and 405. Want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review schedule, but I think that's a stupid idea. We want more water coolers, more water cooler heaters. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to teenage demographic. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Big net. Some sort of child trap. Sounds good. Throw something in this ideas bin. No more bins / trash cans. Renaming of the idea bin. Firing of me. A lot of percents. All right. All right. Synergize core value expenditures. Shift global market paradise. I don't know. Monetize free to play. Oh, you're unique as well, Dog Nozzle. Regardless of what these boards might say. Oh, Chris, you in there? No. Well, we're going upstairs to the office.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We're being a good Stanley this run. Executive bathroom, that's not the boss's office. Guess this is probably it.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
It's a big fucking office.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Mm-hmm.
2845.
All right.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
I know, I'm that
He stepped into the
good.
newly opened passageway.
All right, what do we got? Let's go.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
All right, let's get these answers.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
All right, well, we have escape, but the narrator said we walked in.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Let's find out.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Fired? Oh, man. That sucks. All right, let's continue on.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
Never.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
All right. Let's take this place down. Facility power? That's a really good visual. Yeah. This game is does have some of that for sure. Off. This doesn't seem like a great idea. Maybe not.
Blackness.
Maybe not.
And a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all
See,
he
kids?
needed to know.
Just quit
It
your
was
jobs.
perhaps the only
Everything
thing
will be
worth
okay.
knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Let's go.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
We are very happy. All right, well, we did it. Game over.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All right. Before we get really off the rails, I think we'll follow the narrator again and see what that escape path at the end of the narrator's path will give us.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
All right.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah, yep. Just following the path again.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered
What
aloud
was it, like
to nobody.
4826 or something?
He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
Oh, 2845, okay.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
right. Take the elevator again.
Stanley walked straight ahead
Oh,
through the
no.
large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Did we? Or did we escape? Let's go!
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
That's a form of escape. Come on. Come on.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Oh, fuck you, narrator. We're
At this
escaping.
point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
So does Stanley have ESP abilities by virtue of being the player character? Yeah, I guess so. All right. Time to escape this. Take your job and shove it. Whee!
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
All right. It's been fun, narrator.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Oh,
When
right.
every path
Okay.
you can walk has been created for you long in advance.
I forgot this
death
was like the
becomes
credits
meaningless,
ending.
making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
All the like design stuff. Filing cabinets, we like those. Office computers. Yeah, we got all the credits here. Doors. We like doors. Maintenance room. Fun. We like fun. There is a skeleton inside you. There are more skeletons in this world than humans. Thanks and goodbye. Probably shouldn't even be showing this off so early. I forgot that this was the credits ending. All right, let's just
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Oh. Whoops. I think we're dead. I think we have died.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I don't know.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's see. Oh. New content. Well, let's do some other stuff first. We'll save that for later.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Kind of want to revisit the classics. Yeah, door on the left. Fuck you, narrator.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
There's no one around. It's pretty funny that there's just a door labeled new content. Yeah, that's pretty good. I do like that.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring.
It
It
sure
had really
is.
been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Number one dad. Is that I love my mom.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
All right, I got some cold drinks.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Ah, it's a nice break room. I do really like it.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Oh, we're just getting our laps in. We're on break. Maybe there is no more dialogue. Anything out here? No. All right, Mr. Narrator.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
First open door on my left, you say?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
What do we got out here? All right. Do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop. Let's see. Warning, do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion, will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000. Danger, vent access for trained employees only. Climb at your own risk.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
We could jump from the lift. All right, who's been waiting for me? Ah!
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone. As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope.
I
Hope for
unplugged
a
the
life
phone.
Reunited one. Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
I sure did.
No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
What?
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person, but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people.
Sure.
Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Oh.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular
we did
basis
good.
is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back.
Oh, thank
You
you.
may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
All right. Well, I guess I do have to go this way. All right. Fine. We'll listen to you once. That person is not real, therefore try to come up with an excuse for not talking to them. Yeah, it works. That works for both real and imaginary people. It's very effective.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying.
Oh.
Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story.
Oh, you
that
just
story
wait.
would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Come on. Let me out. You barred my access for the last time.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
All right, I see how it's gonna be.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That
Sure.
means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
All
I'm
right.
quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh. These filing cabinets are looking a little weird. All right, I guess I do gotta go to the left. All right.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Oh no. This isn't very nice, narrator.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to
Stanley's
do
a
something,
nerd.
there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
All right.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm just gonna sit here, narrator. I'm not going into that door on the left. We live here now, in the hallway of the door on the right. I don't care.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I don't know. Is it just gonna keep doing the same thing, I guess? All right, yeah, we probably do have to do the door on the left. I couldn't remember.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley
right.
would.
We'll do the left door.
Always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, they locked me in. Oh yeah, the executive bathroom thing is gone. They locked me in. They're making me finish. Oh.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
No, we didn't. All right.
Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark 115.
Oh,
He
no.
spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
I can't speak.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
The boss's office is pretty impressive.
He entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley,
Nope,
are you there?
we're not.
Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need. All of his co-workers were gone.
All right.
What could it mean?
Let's continue
Stanley
on.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, I think we'll do one more little thing and then probably call it for the nights. We'll save the new content for our next adventure game day on Thursday. See what that's all about.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly
I just want to do
well.
something really
Perhaps
dumb
he wanted to stop by
for
the
this
employee
one.
lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room.
It's pretty good.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah, we do have that we can do, but
Stanley was so bad at following directions.
there's
it's
something
incredible he
they
wasn't fired years
blocked
ago.
us from doing here.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
All right, maybe we can do the apartment ending, actually. Let's see if we can get
All of
back
his
to that
co-workers
real
were
quick.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2
Nope.
open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Don't
and
care.
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps
Do
he
not
wanted to
care.
stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah, there's still stuff to do in there, but
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't
we'll
fired
see
years
what
ago.
happens when we answer the phone by doing
Look,
this
Stanley,
app.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking, this is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
All right, we did it. We picked up the phone. All right.
Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Ah!
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife? Who
Yeah.
want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
No wonder nobody likes you, narrator. All right, horror game officially.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What? Good morning, employee 427. Press M on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Please press T.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
All right, G.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures.
We sure
From behind
can.
his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Press H to watch TV. Hell yeah. Let's go.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he
my
imagined that
TV.
one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
All right, let's press T to spend some time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Let's see. I want to press H to watch TV. Hell yeah. Man, if I could do that at work, ooh boy, I'd be all set. All right, press Y to prepare dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Oh yeah, we haven't gotten to those yet. All right, let's press B to tell our kids a story about a man named Stanley and a jerk narrator.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
All right, let's press F. to pay respects to our wife and let her know that we love her.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
Yeah, I hate Mondays.
The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
There's a bed in there, but all right, let's just press X to go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
This is some disastrous interior design, chairs blocking off doorways. Yeah. Got too much office stuff in here. All right, let's press T to be at work in the morning. We love work, don't we?
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
All right. Press N to question nothing.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
All right. And we're back here. All right, yep, the game is now paused. All right, I think we'll probably end it there tonight. We'll actually pick this up for a little bit when we come back to our adventure games on Thursday. There's still a bunch more runs we can do of it. I'm pretty sure, even without checking the new content. But we'll check out what we can think of, and definitely want to check out that new content. It won't take up like that whole stream. So we'll do a little bit of this then, and then I haven't decided what the next adventure game will be. But I'll try to think of something good before then. But yeah, next stream tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern. We're finally coming back to RPG Monday. After, Burnhouse Lane completely destroyed the schedule I made. So we'll be continuing on with Kingdom Come Deliverance. Do a couple quests, do a couple thefts, probably die a bunch. See what's going on there. But yeah, thanks everybody who popped in, hung out, all that jazz. I really appreciate it. And anybody watching the VOD or the eventual YouTube uploads of this nonsense after the fact, I appreciate it. And yeah, and I'll set up the usual raid nonsense once I get out of here. And yep, thanks for hanging out. Hope everybody has a good night or day or whatever time it is where you're at. And yeah, we'll see you next time, I suppose. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.